Hello, and welcome back to Hats Off Sorting.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. So for those who don't remember, if there's even anyone listening, this is the podcast where we take some of our old favorite shows and movies and we sort the characters into the houses that they would go into if they went to Hogwarts. Fair warning to everyone, there will be spoilers about all of the materials and people that we talk about.
Okay, to be fair, these are all really old. If you haven't seen these, you've probably been spoiled already. It's fine.
Go ahead. There will be spoilers, and there also may be adult content. We are all adults here, and we make no promises to watch our language or any of the topics that we discuss.
Maybe adult content, sure.
And we may be adults.
Just a maybe.
Possibly.
A possibility that we're over 18.
And let it begin. I love it. Let's go.
Today we are talking about Avatar the Last Airbender.
I have been waiting for this one, to be honest with you.
You've been talking about it for so long.
It's so nice.
Such a good show.
Just a reminder, am Luna.
Oh yes, I am Ron.
I am Hermione.
And this is my first time here, and I'm Peebs.
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so as always, we'll go into a little bit of the background as to the show. Avatar was set in 99 to 100 AD in Fantasy Asia. It is set in a world where there are people with unique abilities called bending, which means that they can control the four elements, air, fire, water, and earth. The influences for the creators for the Fire Nation were influenced by Japanese culture, and the bending was influenced by Northern Shaolin Kung Fu.
Yep.
The Water Tribe, was influenced by Inuit culture, and the bending was influenced by Tai Chi Chuan. I'm sorry, I'm going to say these horribly. The Earth Kingdom was influenced by Chinese culture, and the bending style was influenced by Huangga Kung Fu. And the air nomad culture was influenced by Tibetan culture, and also specifically the Shaolin monks. And forgive me for this pronunciation, but their bending style was influenced by Bangguashang, which are all four different kinds of martial arts. Which is really freaking cool. I know, right?
Same. Learn them.
This show was released in February 21st of 2005. And I don't know about you guys, but I watched every goddamn episode, as they aired.
Every single week. I remember my family, actually, the very first night we saw the commercial for it, this new show's coming on Nickelodeon. My family was literally in the living room, the first night it came on. And then I was in there every single week after that just to watch it. I had to.
Yeah. I used to watch it with my sisters. My brothers watched it too, but I specifically remember watching it with my sisters, all the time and just being obsessed with it.
Well, your brother was, 4?
He was very little.
At the time this came out?
This came out in 2005, so yes, he would have been 4.
Oh God, it's been 15 years.
So he probably watched it with us then. It's just that he was 4.
He wasn't old enough to understand all of the background information that this show likes to throw at you.
Not that we were either.
That's to be fair. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah.
Such a good show.
Really, really good.
All right, so
I
believe we're starting off with the main man, the titular character.
Yes.
Aang, the Avatar, and the Last Airbender.
Good Lord.
Let's do this, guys. I have ideas on where he should be, but I'm gonna hear this out first.
I mean, you chose that one. Go for it.
You get to start us off.
Okay. I did all this research into the characters and into the world and all that fun stuff, and I never actually considered ahead of time where I would put them. And now I'm looking at Aang, and I'm like, Sir,
He has to
I can't. I'm fluctuating between Gryffindor and Hufflepuff.
easily. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely the only two houses he could possibly fit in, yes. He's dumb as hell, so he cannot be Ravenclaw. Like, he is so fucking stupid. And he's not, like, his ambitions aren't super, like, out there. You know, like, he has to fight the Fire Lord, but he definitely doesn't want to fight the Fire Lord.
I mean, he puts his own, like, destiny to the side to go do some side quests too, so I don't really think
Slytherin is not for him.
Slytherin is
Slytherin is not for him.
his house.
No, he's guileless and very sweet, but no.
And about as good with the girls as Ron and Harry were in, like, the first 5 books of the
Dear
Harry
Lord,
Potter
dear Lord.
series.
I don't know what you mean first 5.
All of them? Yeah, that's true. Harry.
I
Okay,
mean-
but to be fair, Harry, the only reason he broke up with Ginny was because he had to go save the world.
No, which is the stupidest reason to break up with anyone ever. Ask Peter
I
Parker,
agree,
whose girlfriend.
but I understand.
Yeah. Okay.
He's not
literally kissed Katara right before he had to go save the world.
He did.
Right.
Okay,
He also,
he
oh my
did.
god. Okay. He also freaking in the cave. Remember when he was like, "Yeah, I'd rather
I'd rather kiss you than die. I'm like, hey, you sound like Ron right now. Shut up, my guy.
Oh my god, I love him.
Jesus
I love
I mean,
him.
Christ.
also, he didn't finish, like, his chi training because he didn't want to let go of Katara.
Okay, that's true. That's very true. That's a very
And he
Gryffindor-esque
literally had to, like,
attribute.
make an
I was
ice
about to say
bubble.
Hufflepuff.
An ice bubble around him or it was an ice bubble?
It was
It
literally
air.
Oh, an air
It
bubble?
was
could've
air,
been
but
water,
the
yeah.
outside was frozen ice.
Yeah.
But the inside was full of air.
But he might have just
Yeah.
he might have
Because
just
when they
showed
broke
the
it
air.
open,
Yeah.
It
So
literally
he made
shot air
himself
out.
an ice bubble
yep.
to
Yeah.
finish that last chakra or chi. Yeah, chakra.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, then he got into Avatar again.
That's true. I'm honestly
Oh.
what you were saying was freaking more Hufflepuff to me than Gryffindor.
I
Because
don't
he
know.
was so
'cause it
loyal
was
to Katara.
But yes, but loyalty and being in love with, I feel, are two separate attributes. Because he would be loyal to Appa and, like, Sokka, to Sokka. But being in love with Katara, he made a very brash decision to go save the woman he loves over finishing the thing he did. Picture this. Harry not learning occlumency a single moment in book, 5? Because he wanted to go have a date and play Quidditch.
Yes.
And needed, and I want to really, he needed to learn how to control the Avatar state before he went into that cave. It would have taken 5 seconds. He literally walked up, it was like, okay, we're about to finish this, and then ran away 5 seconds before he needed to.
Yes, but it wasn't. That brashness is for Harry. It's a little bit different because there's no urgency there. For Aang, Katara's in trouble. She's in danger. It's not I want to go on a date. It's she's in danger.
Yeah.
This is Katara, who I've traveled the whole world with. They're not dating. He's in love with her, but they're not dating.
This is true. This is very true. But it was still a very brash thing to do.
It was a brash thing to do, but I think it shows.
He
his
would have
loyalty.
been better able to help her and save her if he would have finished everything.
Oh, 100%.
before he
but-
went.
Literally waited 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, no, because wasn't the guy telling him that he had to let go of her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had to put his need of the Avatar over Katara, which would have taken 5 seconds.
It would have taken 5 seconds, but I also don't think that a Gryffindor would have hesitated as much as a Hufflepuff. I think that because they're so much more focused on the loyalty, they still would have hesitated, but they would have seen, think about Dumbledore and the greater good.
Well, yeah, but that's when he went evil. That was Slytherin Dumbledore.
That was not Slytherin Dumbledore. Shut up.
That was Dumbledore where he's like...
What Slytherin do you know that's going to put anything about themselves above the greater good? The greater good can go fuck yourself. I'm going
question.
to take care of me and mine.
Quick question. Well, he was taking care of him and his. He was taking care of him and his boyfriend at the time. That was it. But to be fair, he was saying we don't need to kill anybody. We just need to use enough force that is needed, but no more than that. When he was with them.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the whole rest of the books.
I'm talking about
him using Harry as a chess piece.
Oh, I'm talking about him when he was actually using, quote unquote, the greater good as a sign off with him and his boyfriend, whose name I'm forgetting right now.
Grindelwald.
Grindelwald, thank you. Fucking yes. That's the point in time when I hear greater good, my mind automatically goes to Grindelwald, not the rest of his life.
I just meant the phrase as a whole, as Gryffindors. And it's not to say that they all wouldn't be loyal to the people they care about, because obviously Harry's really loyal to the people he cares about. But I don't necessarily say
loyal to anyone.
But I wouldn't necessarily say that being loyal to people you care about is a Gryffindor trait. I would say that it's something that some have and some don't. I would say that it's something that is a Hufflepuff trait. And so...
But I would also say that when you look at your friends, look at the Gryffindors. When it comes to their friends, they make extremely brass decisions. Look at Harry when he ran to the freaking... Actually, that's probably a better example, actually. Harry, instead of taking a little bit more time, and I do blame Creature for what happened, Sirius died for a reason.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%.
Because Harry thought he was in trouble, just like Aang saw Katara in trouble, and was like, we need to fucking leave right this fucking second. And while he took a couple of sidetracks, it wasn't his fault.
It's a little bit different, though, because with Harry, he had already seen Arthur get attacked by
Very true.
Nagini.
That's true.
And it turned out to be real. And
That's
then that's how Voldemort found out that they were still connected.
Very fair. That's a fair point, actually.
Therefore, Harry saw Sirius getting
In trouble,
attacked.
and he's like,
dead. It's been proven that it was an
Real,
actual
yeah.
something, and I need to get there now.
That's true.
Versus Aang seeing a vision, which I'm not saying, I mean, it turned out to be true, but it's a little bit different.
I still think that was a very Gryffindor thing to do.
It could be a mix of both, too. But for me, it struck me as more Hufflepuff, that loyalty. And you said it even, too. He's loyal to Appa, too.
This is true. He is.
To the point where he almost killed someone when they took him.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's very true. He was about to murder a bunch of people. He was about to kill some sandbenders.
Oh, yeah.
For muzzling Appa.
A provoked Hufflepuff is a dangerous
It's a
thing.
very dangerous thing.
Yes. This is a
very dangerous thing. Okay, so let's think of some other situations that Aang went through, and how did he react to those situations? Like let's think about, when Sokka got kidnapped by Heibai.
Yeah,
He
he
literally
was
jumped
after him into the forest.
Yeah,
no.
so no, that's what I'm saying. I'm seeing what you're talking about, because he literally grabbed his glider, was like, I'm chasing the spirit down.
Okay,
Is
wait,
that the swamp thing?
I have the best one.
No.
Oh.
I just saw the best one. The Heibai was the panda looking thing.
The forest.
Yeah. Okay, I remember.
I have the best one though, because
Let's
this
go.
one is one where it's not in trouble. So this can't be contributed
Yeah,
to Gryffindor.
all good.
When why am I forgetting his name now? Master Paku refuses to teach Katara, and Aang says, "You're not teaching her. You're not teaching me either."
Peace. That's true. That's a very good point.
That was pure loyalty. That was pure
That's true.
one of us or none of us. All of us or none of us. I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm like, the more I talk about it, the more I think about it. I'm thinking more Hufflepuff.
I think
Yeah,
he's more
me
Hufflepuff,
too.
but he just has a lot of Gryffindor tendencies.
I mean, they're not all exclusive.
They're really not all
No.
exclusive. They're not.
I mean, you have to be brave and courageous to be so loyal.
That's true.
Loyalty takes a lot of courage.
Where do you think? Different topic for a different day, but I'm starting to think of Neville. His loyalty to his friends, like the amount of
He's
loyalty.
not a Hufflepuff.
Yeah,
But
well, there's secondary
belongs-
there's this argument for canon that's been going on for a while that Gryffindors are all kids that could have gone into other houses that chose to
That's
They
what I was about to
chose-
say.
they chose
They
Gryffindor.
chose to be there.
which is
I
the
like
only weird
it.
thing. The only
that
weird
theory.
thing with Neville for that is he didn't think he was supposed to be a Gryffindor.
Well, yeah, but they could have looked into his heart. He could have asked anyway, you know? Maybe
That's true, because he
gathered
just
up the
never
courage.
thought he wanted to. He was like, I shouldn't be in Gryffindor. I shouldn't
But
be a Gryffindor.
he might have been hoping under the hat, been like, oh, I hope I'm in.
I hope I am. I
Yeah.
just don't think I should be, but I really
Think
hope I
about
am.
it. That's,
Yeah.
that's what
because his parents were, and his gran.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet gran.
Oh my god. Okay, well, we're not talking about it. So, Hufflepuff for Aang?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Hufflepuff.
it's gotta be Hufflepuff.
Okay. Katara is next.
Oh shit.
Ravenclaw, just gonna throw it out there.
Slytherin.
Also, she did definitely steal that water-bending scroll.
That's exactly
Yeah,
what she
that's
did.
what I was
like-
She did.
And-
She will do just about anything
That's true.
to achieve her goals.
That's
And the
very
Painted
true.
Lady,
Painted Lady's a
yeah.
great example.
yeah.
she literally dyed up his tongue. What was it, purple? So they
So they could stay along. That's true.
at the expense of
The fucking mission.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be there for the eclipse. So she's like, no, I gotta save this village.
At the same time, though, I'd almost say that was a detriment to her being a Slytherin because she wasn't able to see the big picture. Kind of.
I mean, but neither are a lot of Slytherin.
Yeah.
They just have just because there's negative and good sides to having ambitions. You can have ambitions, but you can also have blind ambitions.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
also, I don't know if you guys remember the one where they went to the town that lady could see the future, could tell the future.
Uh-huh.
And she, pestered that woman until she would not even, receive her. Just keep her outside the door. Because she was so worried about her future and whether or not everything that she wanted actually came true.
True.
That's true.
It's very true, actually.
I like her for Slytherin.
I think she's like, she's a hardcore.
Yeah.
She's smart. She's really smart. So, Ravenclaw, smart, whatever. But Slytherin. She, will do anything.
That's very...
to get to where she wants to be.
That's true.
To get what she wants.
Yep. I think that was easier than it should have been, but yeah.
There's a lot less contention on that than with Aang.
Yeah.
Because Aang, he's the Avatar, so he has a lot of everything except Ravenclaw inside of him.
And Slytherin. I don't think he has that much
but
Slytherin. The biggest... The difficulty with Aang was Gryffindor or Hufflepuff, was we just had.
Yeah.
Okay, so Slytherin for Katara?
Easily
Slytherin.
Easily Slytherin. I was thinking Ravenclaw, and I'm like, no. No, she's out here.
Alright, next up then is Sokka.
Gryffindor.
No!
Hufflepuff.
Slytherin!
How?
He's a strategist!
Yeah, but...
Because you said strategist makes him an automatic Slytherin?
How
automatically.
Does he have to be the only one that does not have any bending powers? There's nothing specifically special about him except that he's kind of smart sometimes.
Okay.
I'm also going to put it to you this way, though. How often does he put himself in harm's way without having bending? Yes, he has to be brave to do it for his friends and his sister.
Okay, yes. But how much shit does this guy learn? Think about it. He.
So are you saying Slytherin or Ravenclaw?
I'm saying Slytherin.
Okay.
But I'm saying he picks up all this knowledge and he uses it the way he wants to. He is a strategist. He leads the invasion and the rebellion and all this other stuff. He's the one that's controlling the map. Well, after Aang goes on his little trips, Sokka's the one that's in charge of where they go. He's in charge of the whole thing too. Slytherins are proven leaders, and he is very much within his ability to manipulate people into doing what he wants when he wants it. Not to mention, he freaking picks up all this random ass knowledge.
The more you keep talking, the more I'm changing my mind to Ravenclaw.
Same. Actually.
You literally just said everything that Ravenclaw stands for, and you're trying to make it seem like they're for Slytherin. Just because he's the leader, you think that automatically makes him Slytherin.
No, it's not because he's the leader.
Because everything you said was he's the born leader, Slytherins are born leaders, but everything you just said and how quickly he picks up knowledge across their trips, he learned every form, every nation's non-bending fighting skills, he picked up on.
Slytherin is cunning, too. That's knowledge.
Cunning and knowledge are different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not in a library learning this stuff for the sake of learning it. He's learning it because it's going to further his ends. He's the one that has the idea to go check for this stuff in the library to see if they can find the stuff for the...
Ravenclaws do love a good library.
Okay, libraries are a thing. That's not a trait. And he's the one that's let's use this to our advantage. Let's go find the freaking...
but you say that like a Ravenclaw wouldn't do the same thing.
You know what, though?
But
you know what, though?
Okay. Idea. And...
Because they had a mission. He's staying on mission, yes. But his ambitions aren't always necessarily the mission. Everything he does in the series is we need to do this because you need to train to be the Fire Lord. We need to use the eclipse. He found out about the eclipse, figured out the entire room that showed you what the eclipse was by himself with nothing but a date, figured out how to figure it out, and then was we need to make a plan for that date. Rallied everybody together.
Exactly. Ambition and cunning.
Yes. Also, knowledge. Ravenclaw.
I just don't think so.
No, I'm going even more Gryffindor because he chose to go on the trip. He chose to follow them. He followed them throughout their whole world. He picked up all of that stuff. I feel more out of a need to be helpful since he didn't have all of those other skills.
True.
So
Sounds like Ron.
You're proving no.
Yeah,
you're proving,
He's the Ron of the group.
So I'm saying, like, he has all of these traits.
He is.
You can't just. I don't think he goes into either. He has so many Slytherin and so many Ravenclaw traits that you can't put him in one. But I think everything is not just driven by ambition. It's driven by his need to protect his friends
and his sister.
True. And to be on this journey to be part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think all of that together makes him a Gryffindor.
I also have to add in one thing we're not mentioning for some reason. Sokka's a born warrior.
Exactly.
Sokka was raised a warrior, and if the war hadn't started the war started 100 years ago. If his tribe didn't go into the war when he was 8, he would have been on those boats with his dad fighting if he was any older. The only reason he couldn't go fight with his dad and his friends was because he wasn't old enough yet. So
that has nothing to do with his personality, though.
I think it does.
It has nothing to do with his personality.
What are you talking about?
Every boy in the village went, not just Sokka.
Yes, but Sokka's the one who cried about it because he couldn't go. He wanted to be on that
He
boat.
was the only one of that age. Do you see the age of all the other kids that got left behind?
And did any of the other kids that got left behind want to fight? They were all complaining about having to train.
They weren't born yet.
This is true. But they were all... But think about it this way. Every kid that he had to train, he had to take up the mantle of leader, just like Harry does every single time something happens. He had to train all of those little boys because he knew someday the Fire Nation would be back and they needed warriors. He trained them, harshly I will say, because he was not allowing bathroom breaks after a while. And those kids did not want to be there because they were young. They wanted to be kids. He did never have the chance to be a kid, but he also wanted to be a warrior. He went looking for his dad when he had the chance because he wanted to meet him. He wanted to fight with him. That's a very brave thing to do, to want to go fight in a war.
See, okay, you guys are making good points, but you're not turning me towards Gryffindor. You're turning me towards Hufflepuff.
Also,
I don't think he's a.
That's where I started.
I don't think he's a fighter at heart. I think he's doing this for love of his nation, for love of his father, for the loyalty he has to his family.
But he also learns a lot of fighting.
I'm saying yes to all of them, which means Gryffindor.
Honestly, though,
I am seeing it's for me it's Slytherin, but if it's not Slytherin, for me it's Hufflepuff, because I don't think he does this because he wants to be courageous and wants to be. I think he does it because he loves his family, and I feel like that's
loyalty.
That loyalty is
because he does want to have just his family together. That's
definitely one of his main goals.
Driving
absolutely
passion.
Yeah,
to
he
get
wants
his family together to reunite.
That is true.
I will also say this: he went into basically the Azkaban of the Fire Nation on the hope that his dad would be there. He didn't even know his dad was there. On the hope that his father would be there, he was like, I need to go there by myself. He wasn't even going to take anybody. If Zuko didn't say, fuck you, I'm coming with you, he would have gone over there by himself into a prison he knew nothing about, barely knew where it was, and would have had no plan to get out with his dad. Or back up. And then Suki was there, and he was like, well, Suki's here, my dad's not here, we gotta go. And he was like, wait, there's a thing coming in tomorrow morning. Fuck the plan, I gotta stay here for my dad. I can't not leave my dad. So, I mean, I see...
You mean you can't not?
I can't leave my dad here. If the possibility of him being on that gondola is even minuscule, he was gonna have to stay there for him. And then he also put in danger Zuko and Suki's chance of getting out of there just to go safe, just for the possibility
that means he's rash.
He's very rash.
He tried to send them off without him. He tried to say go, and they said, no, we're staying.
That's true. That's actually true.
Honestly, now I'm leaning more towards Hufflepuff. Now I'm kind of agreeing with you guys.
I
still can definitely see Slytherin.
I can see it, but
I mean, all of these traits, guys. All of these traits are not mutually exclusive.
Exactly.
No, they're not. They're never going to be.
But which one?
That's what the discussion is for.
The point to make is which one do we see
the most?
More. And I think, like you said, his driving force is the loyalty he has to his friends and family. He does everything else that he does. Because I think when I was thinking about it the other day, it was like, this is why I landed on Hufflepuff. Because he can learn everything he needs to do. He's hella smart. He's also dumb as fuck sometimes, but he's hella smart and clever. But and he can fight. Even though he's fighting people who can bend the literal elements around him.
Bend the literal water in his body.
The water in his body, bend the literal air out of his lungs. No, they can't do that yet. Bend earth underneath his feet, burn his face off with fire. And so he's very brave. He's very smart, he's very brave, but the driving force on why he does all of that is because my sister's about to die. I have to do something.
There's a theory, just side note, that earthbenders at some point are going to figure out how to bend the iron in your blood.
If there's enough of it.
I mean, have you guys not watched the X-Men?
X-Men were making there's a lot of iron in your blood.
Oh my god.
I'll take that, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, you've convinced me.
I think it's Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff.
Okay.
I'm okay with
Hufflepuff.
I understand that too, but I think his driving force.
I'm okay with Hufflepuff.
Loyalty.
I just don't see Slytherin.
See, and I don't see Gryffindor at all.
I don't see Slytherin, but I understand Gryffindor. I view Sokka a little like I view two people in Harry Potter, Ron and Cedric.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's the Ron of the group.
Cedric.
Cedric Diggory, the one.
I know who Cedric is. I'm saying you see him as Cedric.
Cedric was clever.
Yeah.
Brave as fuck, but
the
also
egg in the
loyal to a
bath.
fault.
The egg in the bath.
Well, to be fair, the egg in the bath, did he get that idea from Bardai Moody?
Oh, did he?
I thought Bardai Moody threw that idea at him. But he was still clever and brave to do everything he did, because you have to be brave to be in the Tribal Tournament.
Oh, hell yeah.
But he was also loyal to a fault, where after, he didn't have to tell Harry anything about the egg, but he was like, you told me about the dragons. And to be fair, he could have been a little bit more clear on the directions of the egg.
You know, a little bit.
But he still was loyal to a fault. And I see that in Sokka. Like, Sokka is brave and he's smart. He's loyal to a fault.
Yeah, that's fair.
The only time he guesses against his loyalty is when Aang does some stupid shit and hides the map to his dad.
Yeah,
That's the only time we see Sokka.
That starts the beginning too, right?
It's like the very first season, they run into Bato, Aang does some stupid stuff, it's like, I'm gonna hide this map because I'm mad, because he's 12.
Yeah.
And then that's the only time we see...
That is true, Aang was 12 at the beginning of everything.
He's a very mature 12-year-old because he has to be, he's the Avatar, but he's still 12.
He's 12.
Yeah, he's still gonna fuck up.
And that's the only time we see Sokka question his loyalty, but the second Bato's like, yeah, there's nothing worse than being the lone wolf. Sokka's like, all right, we gotta go back. I messed up. We gotta go back.
Yeah, he is a very loyal person.
He's a very loyal person.
Like I said, I was just seeing it because he is. He's really clever and he's really ambitious and he's really like the driving force of like, we got a goal and we're reaching that fucking goal. If I have to drag you assholes kicking and screaming, and so
I think most of that comes from him being the oldest. He's 16. Everybody else is 15 and 14 and 12. He's 15. He's 15 at the beginning of the series.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is 12.
Yeah, that's true too.
It's his little sister.
That's true too, but it wouldn't have been hard for him to be like, oh, well, that's the Avatar. They're in charge.
Yes, it would have, because the Avatar's an idiot.
Yeah, like from the beginning, he has to take charge. Like if he doesn't take charge,
I would agree with you if the first words out of Aang's mouth were, do you want to go penguin sledding with me? If that wasn't the first time that Sokka met Aang and realized, oh, this kid's dumb as hell, and 12 and very mature as still, he probably would have, but Aang is 12 and he's Aang.
I don't know. I
also, the first, 2 months of their journey, Aang was literally hopping from place to place just to do fun shit instead of going to the North Pole he needed to.
Well, that's true, though, but that's what I'm saying, is in the beginning, Aang was in charge, and then Sokka took over because Aang was
Aang's an
not
idiot.
doing anything. Yeah. Okay, anyways.
But I still
so we said Hufflepuff for Sokka then.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Who's next?
Toph.
Okay, so Gryffindor or Slytherin?
That is a really good question. Gryffindor. Honestly, Gryffindor.
Yeah,
she is so
Gryffindor.
freaking brash and brave. But she also, the only reason I say Slytherin is because, well, she did sneak out of the house a lot to go fighting in the freaking cave, but I think
I would say Slytherin.
But, I think that speaks more to her bravery than her, ambitions and cunning. Although she's, oh my god.
No, I'd say Gryffindor. I think first instinct is Gryffindor for a reason.
My first instinct is Gryffindor.
I mean, she wears green.
To be fair, that's not helping my case here. Is like, well, she's wearing a bunch of green. It just makes me automatically think
But that's just Earth Nation?
That's the Earth Nation colors,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I honestly, like, girl's blind, and she was like, well, fuck this, I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, she's
well,
so
to be
Gryffindor.
fair, but that's still, I can see a Slytherin doing that. She's also very cunning in her fighting.
Mm-hmm.
She figured out how to metal bend because she didn't want to be in a cage anymore.
I was just talking about that.
Yeah, and then immediately slammed them in and yelled about being the best.
I'm the best! You're the one that taught you dunderheads?
No.
Or if it
not-
wasn't
If that doesn't say Slytherin, I don't know.
It says Gryffindor!
it says both.
I mean,
Think about how many times freaking Draco shit talk Harry after he did something good.
Okay, Draco's a shit Slytherin.
But Draco is a Slytherin.
But he's a
of us.
Slytherin.
He is a fucking Slytherin.
I say Toph is 100%.
I think she's just because she is the smartest.
she's so
Earthbender you will
cunning
ever
though,
meet.
and she will do whatever.
Blind Bandit,
Yeah.
the Blind Bandit episode where she was
Yes.
running all
Uh-huh.
of those cons on everyone in the Earth Nation,
Uh-huh.
in the Earth Nation.
Okay, she is
Come on.
way too bold. I just
You
I
act like
cannot-
Slytherins can't be brave and bold.
No, she's 100% brave and bold. And I'm not saying she can't be a Slytherin because of that. I'm just saying her personality
It's very
and
brash.
It's very brash. It's very brave. It's very. I'm gonna throw themselves out there. Look at what happened in the Blind Bandit. She got fucking caught because she didn't know when to stop.
Well, to be fair, the last one that she got caught on was Katara's idea.
Well, yeah, and she got into a huge fight with her friends about it. And when she first went away with them, she was just like, almost immediately got into a fight. And when she went away with them too, she just ran away from home without considering, hey, maybe my parents will be a little bit upset. They might send someone after me. Maybe I should warn these guys.
But she also left a note saying that she ran away. Like, she ran away, yes, but why did she run away?
Because her parents fucking were awful.
Her
But-
parents were awful, but she also wanted to be with the Avatar. That was her ambition, was to be out of the house because her parents sucked, and she wanted to be with the people who actually treated her like a person.
Yeah, no, and I'm saying that's a totally valid reason, and she definitely should have done what she did. But I'm saying that it was a very Gryffindor thing to do, just leave a note and like fuck off. Like a Slytherin would have come up with some sort of plan to trick her parents into thinking she was like going to a finishing school or something.
That's true.
That's true. I don't know.
And she didn't even consider that, like, hey, maybe they won't be happy considering they told me, no, you can't do that. And all I did was say, yes, I am doing that and leave.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards Gryffindor now. Originally, I was thinking Slytherin, but
I see both.
But she wears green.
She's just too, and she even says it and when she's teaching Aang earthbending. She's like, earthbenders face things head on. You know, they're very,
Yeah.
stand their ground. They're,
Fuck, that's true.
That is true. They're very stubborn.
yeah.
They're very
She doesn't-
headstrong.
Yes.
Fine.
Yes, we are. I'm the total earthbender.
Fine.
Yeah.
I see both, but I can definitely see.
Okay.
I see where
I
you're
will
coming
accept
from.
your Gryffindor
I see where you're
assessment.
coming
I
from.
really think Gryffindor for her. She's just, and I mean, she's fucking awesome.
She's my second favorite character of the entire show. You better have my favorite
I
character
never
on
said
there.
I never said Sokka. Sokka's my favorite.
Oh no, Uncle
Aw.
Iroh is
I
Uncle
love
Iroh
him.
is the goat.
Uncle
He's
Iroh's
a creep
fucking
at points,
I
but
love Uncle Iroh.
unfortunately-
We're gonna get to him. Okay, hold on.
in anime, that's old.
Momo
man.
is my favorite.
Momo's the only one who doesn't have like psychiatric trauma. Like the rest of them.
I'm a dog person, so my favorite is Appa.
Oh my god.
You mean
I just
you
love
haven't-
Momo because he's like everywhere but like nowhere
At the
and
same
just
time.
at the
Oh
same
my
time.
God.
And just in everything and gets into his own adventures too.
To be fair, my favorite thing was when him and Appa, and during Aang, like right before the eclipse, and Aang was going crazy, and he saw him and Momo and Appa fighting as samurai.
Oh my god! Or
Fucking
when
hilarious.
All right. Sorry if there's a little bit of a strange pause in the conversation there. We had a lovely new friend come to join us today. Why don't you introduce yourself?
We have a new challenger.
Hello. I am Fred.
All right.
Hello, Fred.
What's up, Fred? All right.
Okay, so we
Toph.
just decided Toph was a Gryffindor. So
yeah.
next on the list is Zuko.
Oh God, this one's gonna be hard.
Yeah, this is a tough
came
one.
in just at the right time.
Crap! I don't
God.
even. What would I? Oh God,
It's a tough one, right?
he really. I tried to think of this the other day, and I was like, I honestly don't know.
He goes through a lot of changes.
He
throughout
goes
the
through
Yeah.
so many changes throughout the series. So
I
which
was
part of
gonna
Zuko do
say
we want to talk about?
transformation.
Pre or post redemption arc?
Yeah, exactly. Like, do we want to do season?
Pre Total Slytherin.
Yeah, he was just head gung ho. We need to get the Avatar. That is my only
that's
ambition.
kind of Gryffindorish though. Like,
That's
he
true,
didn't give a
too.
Shit, he just wanted to get.
To be fair, I think even post, he's still very Gryffindor-esque.
Honestly, I was gonna say Gryffindor for him.
I think he was just a Gryffindor that went bad and then came back.
I mean, that's
I think because
that was a lot more easy.
honestly, I was going back and forth. Like, he's very loyal to the people that are around him. Once he like gets friends, but then I'm like, but he's also a
Once he gets friends.
exactly. But it's true.
That's true. Like, you literally never hear anything about any of his childhood friends. It's just like he tags along with his sister and her friends.
Yeah, and then he gets
And
friends.
then he gets Uncle Eero.
Then he gets Uncle Iroh, and I'm like, you poor. But God, I guess he was really mean to Uncle Iroh though. Throughout, like, he was a very traumatized 15-year-old at that point in time.
Yeah.
So I can understand that he was hairy during the Order of the Phoenix book, angsty.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, so Gryffindor, right?
Oh my God.
I think Gryffindor.
That was a lot easier.
That
than
was
I thought.
honestly because I was just thinking about it. I'm like, he goes through so much shit. But yeah, he comes out the end.
I think in like his core, he has a Gryffindor core.
He has a Gryffindor core. He just has a very different exterior throughout most of the series because of everything he's gone through.
He's a traumatized Gryffindor.
What would you say about like when you know the episodes where they went through every single person and his journey, like his lone journey and what he did there, like
when he was by
those
himself?
actions. How would you?
Because Zuko alone. Actually, thinking about it, the episode Zuko alone, where he was literally fighting a bunch of bandit army people at the Earth Nation little village, right?
Uh-huh.
He was like, "Oh, fuck these guys!" and started fighting all of them by himself, without being able to firebend. The only reason he started firebending because he kept having flashbacks about his mom, and she was like, "Don't forget who you are." He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm the fucking prince of the Fire Nation. Let's do this," and then firebent all of them, or the last dude with the freaking hammers. And then thinking about it too, the reason he got scarred in the first place was because he stood up and talked out of turn when they said some horrid shit about getting rid of the first army or the newbies.
The front lines.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The fresh meat.
The fresh meat. He was like, "You can't do that to them. What are you talking about?" He was like very brash. Paid for it.
Standing up for what he believed in.
Standing up for what was right too. I mean, I know
For what
Gryffindor.
he believed was right.
Exactly. I'm like, because I know Gryffindors aren't all good, but in the books, that's how they write them. It's like they're supposed to do what's right.
Yeah.
But like,
They're very righteous characters.
they are very righteous characters.
So they just prove him to be even more so Gryffindor.
I honestly, I think that was easy to thought. It's just his exterior is just so much different, but at the core,
His journey is so varied and intricate and amazing. They did such a good fucking job with his journey that I think we think he's more complicated than he is.
exactly. And here's the thing: he is what Harry Potter should have been.
Yes.
In my honest opinion, Harry Potter was way too. He had a very PTSD personality a lot of the time,
He was way too noble.
but he was
for all of the shit that
way
he
too
went
noble
through.
for the shit that he went through.
Okay, in the movies.
In the
books, he's a
In the
lot more.
movies. Oh no, in the books.
It's more there in the books because you get to see what he's thinking a lot more of the time, which is where the PTSD stuff comes from. But I still think he was not messed up enough for the shit that he went through as a kid. When you're abused from birth for 11 years straight,
We
It
do
depends
have
on
to
the
remember
person.
that they're children's books.
fair, there's a lot of adult themes in those children's books.
This is a children's show.
This is a very... Zuko is what Harry should have been, in my opinion, and how I would have reacted
True.
to his abuse and neglect. He was starved and beaten a lot.
They never
he came
explicitly
out.
say that he was beaten.
But the fact that Vernon was about to
being
punch him,
locked under the stairs.
He was definitely abused.
he was abused. He was an abuse victim, but
Maybe
physically,
not physically.
the fact that Vernon was literally put a fist up, and Harry wasn't surprised at the fact that he was about to get punched in the face by Vernon.
Oh, I mean,
True.
the argument is definitely there. And Aunt Petunia aims a frying pan at his head at one point, and he ducks it, but like he might not have.
And then Dudley adds in when he joins wrestling.
Oh, Dudley
Oh,
watches
Harry
beats, but beats the crap out
Yeah,
of him.
that's what I
true.
was gonna say. Like, they don't do anything about Dudley.
But Dudley gets a redemption arc.
Well, Dudley was a child.
And Dudley was a child, right?
Yeah.
Dudley was the Azula, except he actually got a redemption arc. He got a redemption after he got attacked by a Dementor.
Actually, I see a lot of parallels. It's something I've thought about before. Scar is a really good version, for lack of a better term, of Hermione. Saga, like you said, you can make a lot of comparisons to Ron. But the characters, because it's a TV show too, they're able to be a lot more fleshed out, I think, than the movies.
Yeah, very true.
And in the books,
you get more fleshed out.
There's other things going on, but they were a lot more fleshed out, so you're able to see these characters shine through a lot more.
Yeah. Side tangent, but just a comparison of how he acts is probably how Harry should have acted, or would have acted, if it was more adulty or, more fleshed out. Gryffindor. I think just because at his heart, that's just how he acts.
I think he's a Gryffindor.
He's like Hermione said, he's a abused Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Traumatized.
He's a traumatized Gryffindor. Thank you.
Traumatized Gryffindor. I mean, you know what? Well, I mean, it's kind of stupid, but Neville and Harry, they both have very traumatic childhoods.
True.
Oh yeah.
Because Harry, all of that shit, and then Neville growing up with his grandma, and never feeling enough. Yeah.
Just because they weren't dead. Yeah.
Exactly. I don't know.
Neville grew up with the pressure of living up to his parents' name. Harry didn't even know who his parents were.
True. And he grew up in the world.
Exactly.
He didn't even know Lily's last name.
He didn't.
Which was sad to me.
What is it?
Evans.
Oh, yeah.
Because Petunia is a jealous, terrible woman.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways.
Did he even have any pictures of his parents?
No, they didn't have any.
I know what they look like.
Did you think the Dursleys would have a picture of his wizarding parents in their household?
No, because remember
I just don't remember.
He goes to the Mirror of Erised the first time, and he's like, there are these two people there, and they look kind of like me.
It's been a while since I read a story.
And then he got his first picture of his parents from
Hagrid.
Yeah.
Which is disgusting and sad.
Yeah, fuck you, Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Dumbledore.
Here's your invisibility cloak that belonged to your dad.
Oh yeah, I stole this because I thought it might be a Hallow and I wanted to check it out, but then your dad died. It's fine. Fucking Dumbledore.
Fucking Dumbledore.
Honestly, fuck Dumbledore.
Manipulative
asshole.
Speaking of wise old men.
The better version. My favorite character.
It's Gandalf. Yes. No.
Is it Boomy?
It is Iroh. Uncle Iroh.
Finally.
General Conqueror of Ba Sing Se.
What, the dragon?
Dragon of the West.
Dragon of the West. I love it.
Everyone's favorite uncle.
He is a grand dragon of the White Lotus.
And most importantly, an amazing tea maker.
And the best. I want to
the Jade Dragon.
Beautiful.
The best in Ba Sing Se.
Okay, so like I was saying earlier, unfortunately in anime, it is a thing that typically the wise old men in anime are boss as fuck is what they do, but they're also creeps. And I hate it. I hate that trope. He has some, mainly when June comes into the picture.
Yeah, he has one or two moments, but I don't think compared to other anime.
Oh god, no.
Yeah.
It's just
to anime in general, because this is technically not an anime. It's an American show.
To be fair,
based off of anime.
if you go to Japan, they disagree with you.
Do that.
Absolutely.
Good
because
to know.
in Japan, anime is a style of drawing. It's a style of animation. It's not where it comes from. So people in Japan, I looked this up and I was like, because I heard it and I was like, I wonder if this is true. Went online, looked it up. It's actually true. People in Japan view Avatar as an anime. It's the people in the Americas that are like, fuck you, it's made in America, it's not anime.
Okay, then I stand
In the
corrected.
Americas.
In the Americas.
Well,
Because there is
America's
more
right
than
about
one.
everything.
Because there are more than one Americas.
Are.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Oh, I wasn't even trying to do that.
I know. It's my Ravenclaw self.
Alright, ladies, I'm going to let you guys take control of this one because I have so many thoughts.
It's self-autocorrect.
I was like, oh yeah, that was right. Hold on. Alright, ladies, what are you guys thinking?
I don't even fucking know.
I don't either.
Well, let's talk about some shit that happened and how he reacted. He got kidnapped by an Earth General. and was about to be taken to prison. It's the episode where Aang first met Roku he met Roku's dragon in the spirit world. It's the one where Sokka got kidnapped.
Oh, that's right. He left his.
He was in the
Slytherin.
He left his shoe.
I was thinking Slytherin.
He left his shoe there so Zuko could find him if he did.
That's right.
He also, now I'm thinking about it more, he played the fucking long con on Zuko because he was in his
whole series.
His sole goal was Zuko's redemption. That was his only goal.
That's all he wanted to do.
Everything he did was for Zuko's redemption.
Yeah. And again, he's a strategist, he's a leader, he's a general.
He's smart as hell.
He's so fucking smart.
Okay, on the episode where he got kidnapped, he set himself free by playing the old man card. Oh, these shackles are banging against my old wrists and it's hurting. Can you tighten them, please? And he's like, fireman, stake on the hand and just kicked.
And when he was in the Fire Nation dungeon too, he was like pretending that he was like going crazy and like falling over. And then he was secretly like doing like inverted sit-ups while he was hanging from the ceiling and like he put his arms.
But he put his villain blanket in his clothing to make himself still seem fat.
Yeah.
So they all thought
Oh yeah.
He's cunning as hell.
Okay, also, he does play that old man card so many times. But the time, like the unsuspecting old man, like when he goes, I think this was probably like the first book, the first season, whatever, where he shows why he was called the Dragon of the West.
Oh.
He like takes his sip of tea, like.
What's funny is that's still a subversion because that's not even why he's called the Dragon of the West. He's like, I'm gonna lie to you guys right now just to give you an idea. He basically
How fucking powerful
flexed
I am.
on them. He lied just to flex. He didn't have to say this is why I'm called the Dragon of the West because we know you get the dragon title by killing a dragon.
And he fooled every.
But we didn't know that.
Well, that's true.
And he fooled everybody because he told everyone that he killed the last dragon and secretly hidden it.
And he's also, but he was also, and I don't think this really fits into any house, but he's still pure of heart because those two dragons didn't burn the fuck out of him.
Slytherins don't have to be evil.
Oh no, we said this in our very first episode of the podcast. We wanted to make sure people knew. Not all good guys are Gryffindors. Not all bad guys are Slytherins.
And vice versa. Not all Gryffindors are good, and not all Slytherins are evil.
It's like, this is just tagline for Harry Potter.
Yep.
But yeah.
Not all of them were green.
Fucking top. But yeah, I think he's just a Slytherin.
I think he is.
He's just a really boss-ass Slytherin.
I have no problem with that.
I think, yeah.
Okay, Slytherin. Next up is Suki.
Gryffindor.
Hufflepuff.
Tell me more about her.
Suki is the leader of a warrior clan of Kyoshi Island.
Okay.
Yeah, for those who don't remember, Suki is the leader of the Kyoshi Warriors. She is also Sokka's girlfriend for a time, on and off.
Oh, yeah.
And then she dies young, and it's sad.
Which is really something that's really interesting too. There's side note: Suki doesn't die young.
Yeah, Suki dies young, but between Avatar and Korra.
Oh, that's right. Her and Sokka both die,
Yeah.
which is sad. That's not the point.
Spoiler warning, we gave at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, Suki dies young before they all get old.
Yeah. Not the point. The point is something really interesting that I just wanted to point out because we're talking about Avatar right now. Something interesting that they did in this show that I didn't think they'd do in a kid's show is that they had Sokka have a girlfriend, leave, and then both understand that like he's leaving, have another girlfriend, meet back up with Suki, and Suki wasn't pissed about it. She wasn't jealous. That wasn't like an arc. The biggest arc was Sokka being really upset and overprotective because he has a right to be because his first first like official girlfriend, because I don't think him and Suki were like officially dating. They just kissed the once. Was
it on the cheek too? Like she kissed him goodbye on the cheek?
She kissed him goodbye on the cheek.
Yeah.
It was just a just flirtation.
It was,
Yeah.
but the thing is that like a lot of the times in kids shows, that's because they want to add the drama. They'll like make them be really jealous because of that or something like that, and they allowed him to tell her about this girl that he knew that said for all intents and purposes, Yue died.
Yeah.
She actually turned into the moon.
Yeah, and
That's
Sokka was
right.
traumatized by that, and they allowed him to tell Suki about it and have an honest conversation with her and grow from that without her having to have this big jealousy arc. First,
And the closest. Oh, go for it.
Very mature things. Just because it's not like sexual or whatever doesn't mean that they're not mature things.
It was definitely sexual
Because
later.
okay, well later. In the show, they
Oh no! In the show when they were in the tent.
oh yeah,
Remember
remember Sokka was half his shirt off, with his hair down.
In the road with his mouth, and Suki's like, wrong tent. My bad.
Oh my god, I totally forgot about that shit.
I'm like, oh no, they were definitely banging later. It just wasn't when they first met.
Okay. Anyways, I was saying very mature things.
Oh yes.
Adult themes may be present in all times.
Will be present.
At all times.
But yeah, no, Suki was. I just thought that was interesting. And
cool.
a side note, and an interesting thing about Suki too, that she was mature enough and secure enough in herself and her relationship with Sokka.
Yeah.
Because I think the only
She's a fucking Kyoshi warrior.
Yeah.
Why is she gonna feel threatened?
Exactly. She's the leader of the Kyoshi Warriors.
Exactly.
She's a strong, independent woman. She has bigger things to worry about.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like a war
yeah.
that she's been fighting since birth.
Exactly.
So,
And I think the only time she looks like she gets mad is during the Ember Island Players, when they were like, "Oh, I didn't know you made out with the Moon Spirit," and he's like, "Shh, shh, shh, I'm watching." While he's sobbing. Yeah, she's like, and that's it.
and that was more about him ignoring her.
Just ignoring her, exactly. Just shh, no, I'm watching.
Because when she originally was like, I didn't know you made out with her, she was laughing.
She was shitting laughing about it, exactly. I shouldn't care.
Okay, anyways, whole point being, Suki's awesome. Honestly, I say either Gryffindor or Hufflepuff.
I gotta say Gryffindor.
I gotta say Gryffindor.
I gotta say Gryffindor.
The only reason I think Hufflepuff is because she is very loyal to her island and her troop that she's with.
Well,
But,
but you used the same argument against Sokka being a Hufflepuff earlier, because you were like, yeah, he's loyal to his nation, but that doesn't necessarily make him a Hufflepuff.
No, I was saying Gryffindor. That's what I was arguing against Gryffindor. I was saying he was loyal to his nation. That's more of a Hufflepuff trait than a Gryffindor trait.
I think she's a Gryffindor.
I think she's a Gryffindor. The only reason I say Hufflepuff would be because of that loyalty.
But she was still very loyal to Sokka, especially again going to the prison episode. Mm-hmm. She was like, "I'm not leaving you. I'm helping you find your dad."
Yeah, but she's also very much let's take action.
Mm-hmm.
I think her instinct is good.
When they needed to kidnap the warden. She was like, all right, well, you guys try to figure that out. I'm going to be up there getting the warden for you.
Oh, that was great.
While you boys over here talking, I'll be flipping.
She figured it out.
She's just running on people's heads.
Oh my god.
Freaking backflipping up a wall. Just I got this guy. I'm going to flourish for you.
Oh, I've been waiting for something fun.
She gets behind the warden. Hey, is Sokka watching? Perfect.
Suki is the amazing dream warrior that we all aspire to be. She really
I fucking love Suki.
Okay, so Gryffindor?
Yeah, Gryffindor.
I think so, yeah.
She also wasn't afraid to slap Sokka beat the crap out of him when he first got to the island. When he was spitting some sexist bullshit.
Yeah.
She made him wear the warrior.
She was like, you gotta follow all of our traditions. I like your dress and makeup, by the way.
Yeah.
Wait, what did you say Sokka was?
learned. Sokka was Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff, yeah.
That does explain that part. That explains that part too. All of the traditions. He's like, alright.
I guess.
I love Sokka so much.
They're great.
Alright.
Oh, here we go.
Next up is Azula.
Jesus Christ.
She's just a basket case.
She's a nut job.
Okay.
I will say though, going back and watching this as an adult, I actually felt a lot more sympathy for this 14-year-old child who was literally driven to insanity by the crazy insanity of her father.
Mm-hmm.
Watching her writhe around the floor as a kid, I was so satisfied. And as an adult, I cried.
I know we compared her to Dudley earlier, but I feel like throughout the series, she's definitely more of a Draco. Raised by an abusive parents who have very dark mental issues that they push and force onto her dad.
I mean, they tried to push it on Zuko too.
Yeah, but Zuko was like, nah. Well, no, Zuko agreed until he got his face burned off.
Well, yes and no.
Ish.
He I don't think Zuko saw the depths of the
He didn't see the depths of the evil.
evil. And I think Azula is very similar to Draco, except that Draco crumpled under the pressure and Azula rose.
True.
Yeah,
And then
she
went
bore
insane.
that
She
pressure.
cracked. She bore that pressure.
And then
until
she only
She
cracked at the
became a
end.
fucking diamond under all of that pressure.
She is.
She just
Okay.
became hard as fuck.
She was okay. Azula was evil as hell because of how she was raised. She was only 14. You know, like half the people in Harry Potter are older than her. By like the third book and on, the rest of the series.
Yeah.
Draco, older than her by that point. She was 14 and she was like, nah, I got this.
Yeah.
She took down armies by herself.
Yeah.
She was out here fighting the war. You do realize that the only reason he sent her out there was to find Zuko and bring him home? Mm-hmm. She did everything else because she wanted to. And she did everything else very well.
I think she's a Gryffindor.
I think she's a Gryffindor. I was thinking the same thing. We brought her by. I think she's a Gryffindor. She's one of the Gryffindor that went bad.
She's definitely not a Hufflepuff.
Not a Hufflepuff. She has no
definitely
loyalty
not.
to anybody
Except herself.
except herself.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes her Slytherin.
Which
but at
can
the
be
same time-
Slytherin, but yeah,
Well, Slytherins have loyalty to the people they care about.
she doesn't care about anybody but
Doesn't care
herself.
about anybody.
She doesn't care
And
about
here's the
anybody.
thing. Here's the biggest, and it's just a tiny, tiny little moment. But here's the biggest moment that kind of turned me away from Slytherin for her. Is there's this moment where she's on a boat. It's like I think it's like the first episode when we're introduced to her, and she's on a boat with this, and the general comes up behind her, or it's the captain, and he says, "Miss, we can't dock because the tides
Won't allow us
won't
to.
allow us to." And she has this little speech, and it's so great about. Basically, I can't say it because I'm gonna fuck it up. But basically, it boils down to, would the tides think twice about killing you? And the guy says no, and she says, okay, so maybe you should worry less about the tides, who have already decided to kill you, and more about me, who hasn't made up my mind yet. And that's such a dumb thing to do. That's such a stupid, headstrong, I don't care if the literal ocean is against us right now. I want to be in dock now for no other reason than because I say so. I feel like that's not. It's very intimidating, and it very much shows her strength and her power. And I don't think it's a dumb moment at all. I think it's amazing. It says so much about her character. But I think that it says a lot about her character in the sense of she's not subtle. She's not subtle. She's not going to go for cunning or manipulation or anything like that. She's just going to barrel ahead.
I only disagree with the cunningness when she gets to Ba Sing Se.
Yes.
Everything she did in Ba Sing Se was nothing but manipulation.
Yeah. Boss Sing Se was boss.
That was
Yes.
honestly probably one of my favorite moments for her because she showed her cunning. Because before then, she was just like a force.
Cross that
Every
dude.
Yes, but that was a second. That was a last resort. That was never her first. Her first instinct was let's take a drill and drill a hole in the wall.
That's true. That's also a good point. That was plan number one.
Again
She
with the
can
head.
be cunning, but that's not her first instinct. Her first instinct is
true.
barrel and
Yeah,
That's actually a good point.
Okay.
I forgot about the drill. You're right. First idea was because isn't she the one who came up with the idea of how about we take their precious hope and burn it all to the ground when they're like, how do we defeat the earthbenders?
Yeah.
Burn everything that they own.
Yeah.
Like,
And when she's trying to recruit her so-called friends
Oh, God.
and freaking sets fire to the men, Ty Lee to force her to join them. Remember that?
Yeah.
So manipulative.
Honestly,
Yeah,
that
that's
is my least favorite moment for her because that's when I was like, oh, I can't like her. I can't like. Dude, there are so many people on TikTok that are just like Azula stans. And I understand where they're coming from sometimes, but that one...
She's a boss ass bitch.
She is a boss ass
amazing.
bitch, but that
And I
one
love
moment in
her
time where I was
character.
like, oh, fuck this bitch. I can't do it. Nah, I can't. I cannot do it.
Yeah, I
Oh.
love her character. but
Everything
she's
else, I'm like...
evil.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
That was honestly just like, I can't get behind people who are just that manipulative. If someone as innocent as Ty Lee, if it was like anybody else, I would have understood more. But Ty Lee is so fucking innocent. Like, she's just a little ball of sunshine and joy. And then you were like, I guess we'll have to die then. Oh, you want to join me? Perfect. Like, I hate that.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
Why am I not surprised?
It's a
Let me
good
start
trait
saying
for a
that
villain to
he's
have.
from Peas.
He's over here.
He's over
I
here.
kind of like it. I was like, I can't abide someone who would bully someone as radiant as Ty Lee.
Well, and even more so
True.
her quote unquote friend. Like,
Exactly.
to be like treating
But
her
we've
as a
already
kid.
discussed the fact that she is loyal to no one but herself.
That.
Right.
Yeah.
So even if she has quote unquote friends,
Voldemort.
yeah, she has forced followers.
Yeah.
Just like Voldemort.
Yeah.
So what does that make her?
Gryffindor.
Still a Gryffindor. She's still
Yeah.
way too brash and yeah.
She's just like a horrible Gryffindor.
She's yeah.
Not all
Gryffindors are good guys.
Yeah, it's really interesting too to see the dichotomy between her and Zuko, because we put Zuko in Gryffindor too. We put a lot of people in Gryffindor actually.
There are a lot of
Zuko in Gryffindor too.
I mean-
But seeing the dichotomy between the two of them, they
There's
both.
yeah,
They're
because
both
it's not just a
Gryffindors.
small little group of people. I mean, look at the main trio on Harry Potter.
Yeah.
You have Ron, who was Hufflepuff King, but he got put in Gryffindor because he
I
wanted to be in
love Ron.
Gryffindor. You have Hermione, who is how the hell are you not in
Were
Ravenclaw?
both of Ron's parents Gryffindor?
Everybody in his family was Gryffindor.
Everyone in his family.
He's the opposite of Draco.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in Draco's family was Slytherin. Everybody in Ron's family was Gryffindor.
Okay. Side note. I'm sorry, we keep going on tangents.
Oh, it's fine.
Have you guys ever heard of Hogwarts School of Prayer and Miracles?
Oh my god.
Oh God.
Do I want to?
It's okay. I'm going to say as much as I can say without spoiling things on here, because for people and for everyone here too who hasn't read it, you should. It's amazing. It is a fan fiction that exists by a Christian mother who wanted to write a story that her kids could read,
God.
and so they created Hogwarts School of Prayer and Miracles. Where
I hate it already.
The thing is, though, I grew up super uber Christian, conservative shit, whatever. I convinced my mom to let me finish the series because, I mean, Ravenclaw, right? I drew so many parallels between the death of Christ and Lily Evans' sacrifice.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And they celebrate Christmas.
Christmas and
Christ is a thing in the Harry Potter universe.
well, it's not really Christmas, it's for Yule.
Yeah, well, but
Well,
they,
Christmas is the thing
they
because
call it Christmas.
When
so,
they go to Godric's Hollow, Hermione says "Merry Christmas, Harry" because it's Christmas time.
they say Happy Christmas from the
They say Happy
get-go.
Christmas.
Well, yeah, I know. That was the first idea that I came up
Yeah,
with.
because that's
was
an English
yeah.
thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, I just wanted to do that. Like, that's how I convinced my super Christian, very conservative parents to let me finish, or parent, my mom was the one that made the decision, to let me finish the whole series and not give me shit.
Well, here's the thing too: is J.K. purposefully like she
I know.
put because at the end of the book, at the end of the series, if you look at the tombstones. She put scriptures on both the tombstones that they read in the 6th book, and she's like, I just didn't want to put all of the Christian stuff throughout the series. I wanted to wait till the end, but she put heavy biblical things in the entire
She
series.
drew a lot of
She really
parallels.
did.
Exactly.
She drew a lot of parallels from a lot of different sources. There was Christianity, there was Greek mythology, there was all sorts of stuff. There was a little bit of Norse mythology in there too. Like
Yes, there was.
When you know the sources she's drawing from, it's really, really interesting and
She does a
fascinating.
lot of research.
She does.
It's fucking crazy.
But yeah, no. But some people still, for whatever reason, have decided that it's anti-Christian because magic is evil. So that's what this was this story. And she kind of twisted the houses to represent different branches of Christianity. And in doing so, she decided to change. Oh God, what was it? I think Luna was a Hufflepuff, Draco was a Ravenclaw, and then Ron was a Slytherin.
I could understand all 3 of those.
No, but there was no reason for it.
Oh.
It wasn't anything to do with the houses. That's just the way that it fell out.
It
And I was
sucks that
like,
she did it that way, but I can see why those would be the 3 houses. Luna is very loyal to Harry and them. I can understand. She's not a Hufflepuff, but I can see it. Draco, if you look at the context of the books, Draco was the 2nd smartest kid in that school, right under Hermione Granger.
If he hadn't, well, yeah, that was the whole thing. Is he was like top of the class right behind her, and that was a big contender.
And that was a big thing for his dad.
If he hadn't been Slytherin, he would have been Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw, easily. And then Ron, Slytherin, I can 100% understand.
I can see Ron and Slytherin.
I can see it.
I can see Ron and Slytherin. For the same reasons I can see Sokka and Slytherin, but y'all didn't want to listen to me.
Oh, that's fair. But get over it.
Anyways, the next character, back on target, is May.
May.
Which,
May the force be with you.
Okay, but okay.
I can't see that. Okay.
yeah. Sorry, I showed them pictures.
She's one of
She's the
what's her
depressed
name's
one.
friends, right?
She's
the
one of
depressed
Azula's
one.
friends. She's the depressed one
The one
with the
pigtails.
knives.
Yeah.
Does she have
she got the mini
Yeah,
ears.
she's got the, yeah, she's got the good hair. We like May.
I'm like the chongos.
The chongo. Now I know what that means.
Yeah,
I
there
know what that is now. Okay, thank you.
But so yeah, that's May.
I don't know where to put her. Because her personality is, unfortunately, the embodiment of depression.
She is very bland. But here's my thing. Is the big turning point for her is maybe you miscalculated. Maybe I love Zuko more than I fear you.
True.
That's like
She is very loyal. She's extremely loyal to Zuko.
She is.
She didn't want to go anywhere until she's like, oh, Zuko's going to be there? Bet, let's go.
Yeah.
So, Hufflepuff?
I don't know.
I don't know, because earlier you guys made the comparison of Aang's loyalty
Exactly.
to Katara, but that's out of love, not a friendship. So how is that?
Because she's had a crush on Zuko since they were kids.
Right.
You know, so that's I was thinking the same thing when I said it. I'm like,
because
like
more stubborn than loyalty because Zuko doesn't return it.
not until the end, yeah. Or at least not until he gets back to the Fire
And I
Nation.
guess the argument of the opposite could also be made is that when her family was in trouble, she really didn't give a shit.
Her mother was bad. She didn't give a fuck.
Freaking kidnapped. He didn't give a shit. Like, okay, can I just go? Like,
It was just, oh my god, whatever.
you guys have to do this again.
So,
But then she stands up to Azula like, fuck you. Like, but I don't know.
She did also, though, have that whole conversation by the fire, now that I'm thinking about it, in the episode at the beach,
Oh yeah.
where she was talking about how her parents were, like, crazy neglectful and shit. And, like, yeah, I had everything I ever wanted so long as I stayed quiet, only spoke unless when I was spoken to, didn't make a mess or anything like all that shit.
so I'm thinking Slytherin because honestly, she's only loyal to the ones that she
Cares about
This is true.
So she only cares about
Zuko.
herself and Zuko.
This
Because
is
she really is, she isn't even loyal to Zuko's sister.
No, fuck her. Because Azula tries to use fear to get her to do what she wants, but she's like, I'm not gonna fall into that. She literally went with Azula because she wanted to get out of the house.
Yeah.
She didn't even fuck about Azula.
Didn't care what she was doing.
She wanted to find Zuko, she wanted to get the fuck out of the house.
That's all she cared about.
Yeah.
Slytherin.
So
Yeah,
I think
kind of.
Slytherin. Yeah.
I kind of agree with it.
Slytherin!
I can understand. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone agree?
Agree.
Agreed.
All right, and then next is Ty Lee.
Ah, queen.
I love Ty Lee.
Yeah.
The third back that Sokka would have went.
Also
Throw
Slytherin.
it out. Really?
Yeah.
She was definitely
She's like, she comes out very sweet, but she's also smart as fuck.
Yeah,
True.
I mean, she literally learned how to block people's bending and to collapse them on the floor by like using pressure points.
Yeah.
I
Ravenclaw.
quick tangent on Ty Lee because I love her so fucking much.
Please.
Look at her face and look at everybody else in the Fire Nation's face. She is not more. She was not from the Fire Nation. Her family. I read a fan theory that her family was descended from air nomads.
I actually heard that
Which
too. Yeah.
because her face is very round, like Aang's.
Like Aang.
And her fighting style is dodge and then use your weakness against you.
And the eyes
Like
too.
airbenders, and her eyes.
Eyes are reminiscent of
She
Aang's.
is
I've
not
heard that
a Fire
before.
Nation born, or she was born there, but she is not like her family is not pure
Ancestry.
blood. Like
It's not Fire Nation
Exactly.
ancestry.
like I love that. I wanted to just. I wanted She's like fourth generation immigrant into the Fire Nation. I just want to put that out there. That the fan theory is that her family was like right before the war started, ran and hid in the Fire Nation like they were doing in the last season.
Yeah.
Just because of her fighting style, her face, like how she looks and everything is not Fire Nation.
Or even before that, too. Because it could definitely just be someone who married into the Fire Nation. Because before that, like, the nations were at peace. So she could have.
True.
Yeah.
There's many ways to
I
immigrate.
wanted to give that in for that little nugget because I love it. It's great.
But anyways,
I have no idea where to put her though.
I say Slytherin. Just because she's
Give me ideas.
Slytherin or Ravenclaw?
very good at like again, the beach episode where she's talking with Azula and she's talking about boys, and she's like teaching her how to manipulate them to do whatever you want, basically. And she's good at that. She's good at talking.
Oh yeah, because have you seen her? Boys will do whatever except for Sokka, who will do whatever she wants them to do.
Oh yeah, freaking love it. But no, and she's very good at talking to people and convincing them of what she wants.
That's true.
And I don't know. I see that kind of like, I'm going to survive and I'm going to get to where I need to be no matter what. And I mean, that's even why she ran away from the circus, because she didn't want to be one of a matching set. She was like, I have higher ambitions than to be a sister to 6 other twins.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it 6?
I think it was 12.
Was it 12? God damn, those parents. Like 4 words.
Wasn't it?
No, it was all of them were identical.
Oh fuck!
I thought she said 12, but I might be wrong. But I thought she said 12.
I don't know.
But it might have been 6. I don't remember. I'd have to look it
I
up.
remember her being 7th.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then it might be 6.
So, but yeah.
She was one of a septuplet.
And survived, apparently, yeah.
And had her own ambitions, and that's why she left and went to join the circus.
And the only reason she left the circus is because Azula scared the fuck out of her by almost killing her.
And even then, she wasn't like, okay, you win, let's go. She was like, the universe is giving me strong indication that I should go with you, actually.
The more I think about it, the more I see Luna Lovegood in her.
Yeah.
Mostly from the way she talks, though. Sometimes
It's her personality.
Her personality, not
personality.
so much her traits.
Yeah, it's her personality. Yeah, exactly. Like maybe not her her
Her core
her
values.
core values, but like definitely her personality reminds me of Luna.
The way she speaks does to me, yeah, a little bit.
So
I think yeah, because
Slytherin.
she's not afraid to use her looks to her advantage.
She's not afraid to use anything to her advantage.
And then I think yeah,
And she's loyal to her people. Remember when May was about to be attacked by Azula?
it's true.
Who's been better to her, May or Azula?
May, yeah, she's like not about yeah.
And
True.
that's when she turned color, too. And there was no indication of her turning color before.
Not even for a second.
But she loves May, and she loves Zuko, too. Not in the same way that
No,
May does,
yeah, yeah.
but she does.
Because they all grew up together. It's just unfortunately Azula had a
which is why I think Zuko kind of dismisses them as girls.
I think so, a little bit.
True.
So, Southern?
I think that's gotta be the only one. I can't really put her in Gryffindor. No, I can't put her in Gryffindor.
I just feel like she's so different from anything that we're even discussing that's why it's so hard to.
Muggles are a thing, right? In our podcast.
We have put people as muggles before, but I don't think she's a muggle.
I just think
She's definitely not a muggle.
I just think she's so different, and like even the fact that she's not a bender as well. That she has to use her.
Like, she'll
Neither is
Well,
May
neither
or
is
Sokka.
May. Well, yeah, but they had very.
Or Suki.
Well, yeah, but again, all 3 of those had very strong, like, they are either this or this. They were definitely in a house.
Oh, she's definitely in a house.
I mean, maybe she can be a Bobaton.
Yeah, okay, here's my other question, because we know what the houses are at Ilvermorny and at Hogwarts. What are they at Bo-Katan and what are they at Durmstrang? Do they have houses there?
They may not. I don't actually know. She's put more about each one on, like, Pottermore and shit.
I need to look that up.
Yeah.
Because I was actually curious about that earlier, but I definitely forgot to look.
I think she's focusing more on some of the ones we haven't even heard of, though. Especially because a lot of them are supposedly going to be featured in the rest of the Fantastic Beasts movies.
I'm okay with that. There's a bunch of schools out there. Like the one in Africa where they use wandless magic that I just want to see it
I want
out.
to see that so bad.
I want to see it.
We'll see if we actually get it, but I would love to see it.
Yeah, 'cause all the actors in her movies are fucking up, so.
Yeah, that.
Or
And
at
she's
least,
fucking up.
At least, well, yeah, she's fucking up, and 2 of the main actors in the movies are fucking up, so that's not great.
To be fair, if they went
Ezra
back.
Miller and yeah.
To be fair, I guess they went back and cleared up and
Yeah.
proved that he was an abuse victim rather than abuser.
Oh, good. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear the final end of that.
Yeah.
The last thing I heard was most people saying, "Well, can we just agree that both of them are terrible people?"
Oh, I don't know her name.
I didn't hear about the rest.
Yeah, her name.
She played Mara in.
Yeah, and didn't like her in that movie either.
I would have preferred Homegirl that played Daenerys. Honestly,
Yes.
she would have been fucking great in that role.
Yes.
Okay, anyways.
But yeah.
Okay.
Next is
yeah.
Ozai.
Slytherin.
Sure. Slytherin.
Because he makes all the plans for the. I mean, he has a war council, but he makes all the plans for the Fire Nation's attacks. He is very ambitious on what he wants to do to the world, and he wants Fire Nation controlling all of it and won't do anything he needs to do, literally burning down an entire nation to make sure that goal is reached.
And excessively abusing his own children.
And burning half of Zuko's face off with his bare hands.
Just to prove a point.
Just to prove.
I feel like that's not
Mom?
a Slytherin thing, though.
Oh, his mom ran away.
She ran away.
Yeah, she's not dead. She ran away.
They made a deal.
Right.
Yeah, because she knew that he was going to kill Zuko. His dad told him to kill Zuko. He was going to do it.
Okay, but why did his dad tell him to kill Zuko?
Oh, because Zuko wasn't as good a firebender as Zula, from what I can tell. Oh, what was it?
He told him to kill Zuko because Ozai went to Azulon, his dad, and said, "Hey, Iroh's kid is dead, and he just failed in the bossing saying
That's
whatever.
right.
Maybe I should be Fire Lord instead." And Azulon was like, "You just lost his fucking son. You know what? You can be Fire Lord when you kill your firstborn."
And he was about to do it.
And he was about to do it. And that's why I don't think Slytherin. I think Gryffindor.
I think Slytherin even more now.
I think a Slytherin would have poisoned Iroh's tea.
We would do that. We would do that.
Okay, you mean he was like, alright, let's fucking go. Just like a
I think it was head
But I still think.
Sorry.
I think the main thing is his ambition was to be Fire Lord, and he was willing to kill his own kid to reach that. He reached that end.
Yeah, but he wasn't smart enough about it. He wasn't cunning enough at
You-
all.
not
He was
all
very
Slytherin are
much, I
cunning."
want this. I'm gonna go get it.
But not all Slytherin are cunning.
And Gryffindors have ambition too.
Well, yeah, but
He did not go about it in a Slytherin way. He said, "I want this. I'm gonna go get it," and he legitimately failed at
Do
manipulating.
you want to
his
know how
father.
he did it? He did it in the way that I would see Bellatrix Lestrange doing it.
No, but Bellatrix would have poisoned someone.
She also would have stabbed someone.
She might have stabbed someone, but she was crazy by the end of it.
Yeah, but she was literally carving. She didn't use a wand. Okay, when she was torturing Hermione, she didn't use a wand. She used a straight up blade.
In the movies.
In the books, she had a blade
No,
that
in
she
the book she was using Crucio.
Yes, but she also carved her arm. She pulled a blade out when she was torturing Hermione, and then she used Crucio because they made a specific point when they were in the dungeon that they're like, and then they heard her say Crucio. But before that, she was carving while she was asking questions. And she used a knife, and then, because she also pulled a knife, she also used that same knife and put it against Hermione's neck. Like, I will fucking slit her throat right now. if
I
you
don't
fucking
remember
try
them saying
me.
that she was using a knife, but that's not the point. The point is that she was insane.
True.
Oza's not insane.
This is true. He's not.
He's very much excuse me. He's very much in his own mind, right in his right mind, and
Well,
no,
as right as mine could be.
he is. He's not insane. He's just a horrible person. But Bellatrix has gone nuts.
Well, yeah,
Like,
she
she's
spent
actually
how
crazy.
many years in Azkaban?
Yeah,
As a guilty person.
as a guilty person. And
True.
Ozai, I think, is just he's too blunt and straightforward. His literal plan is we're going to just burn everything down.
But that wasn't his first plan. That wasn't his plan. That was Azula's. He just agreed with it.
No, in the end.
That was Azula.
That wasn't Azula's plan. That was his plan. He made Azula Fire Lord so that he'd go out and be Supreme Phoenix King.
Okay, yes, that right there is probably the best argument you made right now. It's like, he was like, I'll be the fucking Phoenix King. God damn it. Because she was the one, because it was in the meeting that Zuko was in, that she was like, why don't we just take their hope and all of their land and burn it to the ground? And he was like, yes, let's do that. It was her plan. He was just like, I agree. Because that was the meeting that Zuko was at. And that was the last meeting that we see him at, was when she said that. And he was like, yes.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it didn't have to be his plan. He's the person in charge.
But then him doing the whole
He approved
thing
it.
is a tough look for my guy.
And he approved
Fuck.
it.
Yeah, that whole Phoenix.
That just kind of threw my whole thing out of the water. It was that
Total
Phoenix King
Gryffindor
shit.
shit.
God damn it.
He just likes preening.
He just likes being in. Yeah.
He likes
to
to
let
listen.
his friend burn in a volcano.
No, that was his grandfather.
That was just. Yeah. That was That was
I was close.
Yeah.
What was?
Because it was no, it was yes, it was.
It was Zuko's great grandfather.
Or was it his father?
It was his grandfather. Because it was Roku. It was your mother's grandfather was Avatar Roku. Your
Yes,
father's
your
grandfather
grandfather.
was Sozin.
Yeah.
Sozin's comet.
Sozin, that's right.
Sozin, yeah.
That's right. So yeah, Sozin was the one that did that. But yeah, no, he
God damn it,
and
yeah.
also too, if he'd been a Slytherin, I feel like you still need like a firstborn son, you know, like maybe.
Azula can become Fire Lord.
Well, yeah, but what if one of your kids needs to die later on? Like as a Slytherin, if someone tells me to kill one of my kids, I'm like stealing a peasant child and killing them and making it look like it was my kid and hiding my child away. Like I'm not just killing them. What if I need them later? What if they need to be like war fodder or something?
But if I need to be Fire Lord right now, I might consider it.
No. It's not even Fire Lord right now. There are plenty of peasants.
It depends whether or not they love their child.
He did not love Zuko.
Well, no, but you don't have to love them for them to be useful.
And he was useful at that moment. His death would have made me Fire Lord.
Well, yeah, but think about it. He can't be useful to you in the future if he's dead.
Azula can. And I can have more kids. So you know how many women would be pining to get some Fire Lord dick? I would be having kids all over the place.
I don't know. I just think that he's.
If I need a child, I'll make one.
I just think that it would have been so easy to go and steal a kid and just pose it up as your kid, and that way you have this bargaining chip for later down the road. I think that there's like a lot more cunning
You know what?
and deceitful ways that you could have done things.
Maternal and paternal instincts are very different.
Yeah. True.
Yes and no. I feel like a lot of it is cultural, but yeah.
Because, especially like the Fire Lord, I don't think he was very involved with his children
Oh, he wouldn't have been.
at all.
He wouldn't have been.
Especially like with his like character traits, his personality.
No.
I only think that Azula is like so loyal to him is because it would further her own goals.
Further her own goals and make her not end up like Zuko with the scar on her.
Exactly.
Well, it's a lot of it too. It is kind of a twisted form of love. When you look at it, it's actually really interesting and it's fascinating. And like I have to think they did a lot of research into it. But when you look into the abused families, usually when it's multiple children, there is one kid who is the perfect child and there's one kid who is the scapegoat. And this is a perfect example of this dynamic. Is Azula is the perfect child who has all this pressure put on her, and Zuko is the scapegoat. And the perfect kid is convinced that they love their parent and their parent loves them back. And so she could be doing it out of love for her father, but she just doesn't understand that her father is evil.
Yeah. I'm going to make one final argument for Slytherin. Just one final argument. He made up the moniker the Phoenix King. Tom Riddle made up the moniker Lord Voldemort for the exact same reason. Maybe not the exact same reason, because he didn't want to be using his muggle father's name the whole time.
James Potter made up the Marauders.
Okay.
The Marauders with the title isn't like a thing.
Yeah, but you're making the argument that he made up the title of Phoenix King and wanted to be in charge. Voldemort did the same shit.
And so did James Potter. I'm not saying
But
that.
James Potter didn't do it because they were illegal anime guys. They can't just use their names.
Well, yeah, but I'm not saying that him making up the moniker was the part that's Gryffindor. I'm saying him declaring himself king of the world and going out and burning everything to the ground.
But that was his whole mission. That was the whole goal of his entire career as Fire Lord.
And he could have done it a lot more behind the scenes and seized power. You know who he's just not politically savvy. I think that he's very
He's
much
not politically savvy whatsoever.
No.
He is not at all.
He's too straightforward, he's too blunt, he's too gung-ho and headstrong.
It's fair. I still just see Slytherin, but I can concede.
I see your Slytherin.
I see Slytherin because of how
The ambition and how nothing will stop him
from reaching that ambition.
But the way he reaches, the
Is
way he
Gryffindor-esque.
goes to it,
Yeah.
because hey,
I guess because to be fair,
freaking
Voldemort was
Harry
also.
Potter's goal was to defeat Voldemort. That was like his only goal in life because of what fucking Dumbledore fed him
True.
his whole life. Or his whole
The
Hogwarts career.
Yeah.
But the way that he went about it.
He went about it the sneaky way because he started taking after Dumbledore in the end. But then, because thinking about how Voldemort was acting too, Voldemort did everything behind the scenes until he had to, until he His Horcruxes were dying. He was forced.
Until the very, like, what is it, last book?
Yeah.
Until the very last book, when he has to come out and be like, okay, it's time for me to be...
Yeah, because he was doing everything behind the scenes because he was using the ministry.
He made everyone doubt that he had to come back. He turned the whole fucking magical world against Harry Potter and Dumbledore.
Very well.
And anyone who
That's
said
true.
that he was back.
Because he used he used the freaking ministry's like not even the ministry. He used corny fudge and his dumbass to his advantage, and only came out when he was like, all right, well, I guess they know I'm here now.
Yep.
And even then, he was doing a lot of things behind the scene in the last book because he was just out hunting for those wands because he had to find a way to beat Harry.
Yeah.
And then think about like the curse that he put. I forget what it's called. The one where like if anyone actually said Voldemort.
Oh, the jinx
Oh,
on his
yeah,
name.
the taboo.
The taboo on his name.
Yeah. That was smart.
Like because the only people who would be stupid / brave enough
Would be the Order of the Phoenix.
would be people who would be loyal.
Yeah, that's... God damn it, I concede.
Yeah.
That's fair, I agree. He was a brash asshole, but he was also clever and cunning when he needed to be. That's true.
And what's his face is not
No,
Ozai.
he's not at all. He's like, send more forces. Oh, they're dying?
He's
Send
like,
more. Send more. I gotta go out there? Alright, I'm Phoenix King now. Burn that shit to the ground.
Yeah.
And I like his... God damn it, I lose, but I do like his reasoning. Like the Fire Nation will rise from the ashes, I shall rise with a new name.
It's so dumb.
Phoenix King. I was like, you dumb motherfucker.
So dumb.
Fine. I knew the Phoenix King thing was gonna be my end.
Yeah.
But I had to make one more fight, and then it's fine.
Okay, so Gryffindor.
Yeah.
You had to go down fighting.
I had to go down fighting. I have to. I'm stubborn as hell. I'm a Slytherin. I'm stubborn as fuck.
Alright.
Yes, we know. We are aware.
Oh, this motherfucker.
So next is General Zhao, or Commander Zhao. I believe he starts as a commander and then is promoted to general.
I don't
And then
remember much
Admiral.
about him. Can you remind me?
General Zhao, or Commander Zhao, was...
And then Admiral.
Was then he...
He
he was
was Admiral
commander
when-
and then he was admiral. He was
He was
never general.
he was Admiral when he went to when he attacked the North Pole.
Admiral Zhao is the Fire Nation admiral, first commander, then admiral, who was also chasing Aang and trying to kill Zuko in order to take him home. Kind of working in league with Ozai, worst father of the year, so that Zuko couldn't come home.
Yeah, his whole goal was to get the Avatar before Zuko.
Yes,
And then-
he's the one that blew up Zuko's ship. He is the one that
Well, hired
went
pirates
to-
to do it, but yeah.
hired pirates. Yes, no, yes,
He
he hired
hired the
pirates to kidnap them.
Slytherin.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Did you remember the episode where Aang found his first firebending teacher, the hermit, John? Zhao was the guy that came in the boat, and he was his old student. That's Zhao. This guy
Burning down the entire.
is actually, while he's very brash, and that's just his fighting style, his attitude, like Gryffindor, he's also very cunning.
For him, I would say Slytherin.
He's extremely cunning because he found a library.
You know what? Actually, I'd say Ravenclaw.
Really?
He's very much by the book.
That's
Like,
true.
Remember that one? There's the one episode, was it the Blue Spirit? Where Aang is trying to get the frogs and whatever, and he gets kidnapped, and Zuko goes in after them. And
Right.
General or Admiral at the time, this is when he gets promoted. Commander Zhao goes to the dude and it's like, hey, can I take your arrow people because they're amazing, and I'm trying to use them to capture the Avatar. And the guy's like, no, they've got better uses. I'm using them here. And he almost lets it go until he gets a letter saying that he's been promoted, and he's like, oh, well now I'm in charge, so now that's not a request, it's an order.
I'll take those archers off your hands, please. Thank you.
Yeah. So he's very much by the book. He's smart. He uses the information.
Yeah, he found the library, found out about the moon spirit and the ocean spirit turning themselves into mortal beings, and he's like, well, I have a way to finish off the waterbenders. Kill the fish! And they killed the fish.
Yes.
He uses the law very much like Umbridge. He uses the law to his advantage, and then uses his
What
rank.
was Umbridge?
Umbridge was... I don't even know.
I don't think it was ever stated.
It
must be
was. She was part of the Wisdom. Was she part of the Wisdom Gamut?
Yeah, what house was she in?
Oh, I don't know what house she was in.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that was ever stated.
I don't think.
It was never stated in the book. I don't remember if they put it somewhere else. I feel like
I want to say she was Slytherin because everything she did was to further her own ambitions
Was very cunning.
and very cunning. And she was like, "I'm going to." She lied to everyone to make them believe she's actually a pureblood because she had a Muggle mother that she hid away, and then lied to everyone and does everything in her power to further her title in her rank.
Also, I don't think it was ever explicitly stated, but it was definitely implied that the blood quill that she uses is illegal, and she was like lying to both sides to convince them that she had permission to use it.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Yeah. Anyways.
I can totally see why it was illegal.
Yeah.
If it wasn't illegal, it was illegal to use on children.
Some people are like, maybe it wasn't illegal, but it's supposed to be used only for like signing important documents where you have to sign in blood, that kind of thing, and it's illegal to use it for anything other
Punishment?
than that. Yeah.
Specifically on children.
Specifically on high school age
To
children.
make them write lines and lines and lines.
Yes.
He wrote so many lines that 3 books later the marks were still on his hand.
Yeah.
And he had to show Scrimgeour, whatever I always forget his name. He was like, yeah, I don't like your methods, my guy.
Yeah.
And he just still has the freaking letters scarred onto the back of his hand.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
But yeah. Anyways, point being,
But I can see Ravenclaw.
I
can see Ravenclaw because he.
Ravenclaw. How interesting.
I know, right?
Yes, we do exist.
We know. But yeah, because he was definitely like letter of the law, not the spirit of the law, using it to his advantage every opportunity he got. Once he found out Zuko was the blue spirit, very sneakily, this is only the only things I say about for Slytherin too, very sneakily has somebody else do the dirty work for him so his hands wouldn't get sullied with a murder while he could go attack the North Pole again.
That also is pretty Ravenclaw though.
True.
Like strategic.
Mm-hmm.
Like here, I need this accomplished, but I really want to go just this other
I
thing
gotta
too.
yeah, I'm gonna let you do it.
So I'll let you do this. Take care of it. I got faith in you.
Here's your
I'm
gold.
gonna go do my shit over here.
Yeah, like here's your chest of gold. I'll
Peace
deuce out.
out.
Yeah. Bye. Yeah, I'm leaning towards Ravenclaw here.
Yeah, I agree.
I will accept him into my house.
Poor guy had to suffer for the freaking spirit world for the rest of his life. He's still there
Your
with
actions
Cora.
have consequences, no matter how well you plan it out, how fucking smart you are. There's still consequences.
Spoilers for Cora too. So he's still in the spirit world when Cora comes along because he's just.
Oh shit,
Because he
he's
killed
just
the,
swirling.
he killed the freaking spirit. So yeah, he's in the freaking spirit world getting tortured for the rest of days.
Hey, one of his own generals, Iroh, but was acting as his general at the time, tried to warn him, and he refused.
And he paid for it.
Yup.
But the cool thing too is what I was saying for Cora. All actions have consequences, good or bad, or violent or non-violent. So people were saying that Cora had to deal with Amon, the first season dude, who was like taking people's bending away with his water bending or spirit bending, because of Aang. Aang never had to deal with the consequences of not killing Ozai, but taking his bending away. But Cora did, when someone else used the same thing, but for evil, but for perverse reasons. And I was like, shit. I like it, because he never had to deal with the consequences of that decision. Non-violent and correct as it may have been for him, still had consequences that had to be dealt with just in his next life. And I was like, I like that. That's deep.
Kind of cool.
Because it technically is the Avatar
Exactly. So
dealing with the shit.
I like it.
Makes sense.
Is that everybody on the Avatar list, or do we have
Nope.
more? Who do we have?
Holy shit, how many more do we have?
Not many.
Okay, cool.
Next is Boomy. Which I mostly, I was trying not to, because Avatar, there's so many well fleshed out characters that like it's so hard to limit the list. Like there's
It's
so many
true.
more people I can put on here.
Please say you have Cabbage Guy. Please say you have the Cabbage Salesman. Look, here's the thing about Cabbage Man, real quick on the side. He went from losing all of his cabbages how many times around the Avatar
A million.
to owning a cabbage empire in fucking Korra.
He does.
My God.
Yeah, but I tried to limit it to people that like if I saw this list, I would be genuinely upset that they weren't on here because they had such an influence on the characters.
True.
And they had such a strong personality.
So, what house is Cabbage Man in?
No, we're not talking about that. No, he.
Hey, look, to be
He
smart,
literally had one line that he just said like 12 times.
but to be fair, like I said, the fact that he went from a cabbage cart that kept getting destroyed every episode he was in to owning a cabbage empire, dude must have been smart as fuck.
Okay, we are going to talk about King Boomy.
He's a Gryffindor.
Ravenclaw.
I think he's a Gryffindor.
Dude, he played the frail old man card.
Very well. But he's also almost as brash as Toppet. Oh, I'm thinking about him getting...
Hold on. What did he put Aang through the first time?
Yeah, I was like, he put him through so many... He's just crazy. He's just crazy.
Lord.
Sure.
That too.
He's the same thing he was 100 years ago.
And his whole like not for lack of a better term, catchphrase that he says to
Think
Aang
outside the-
100 years apart is you need to open your mind to the possibilities.
That's, yeah. I'm also thinking about how he let himself... He played chess with everybody he was around him. Just in a better way. Like, he played chess with the freaking
And
fire
how
location.
did he unbore himself?
Yeah.
Like, he came up with so many fucking creative ways to have fun.
True.
To make his life interesting.
True.
The only other one I'd really say would be Slytherin, just because he was able to kind of manipulate people, and
Yeah, that's where the other.
That's true. But
the way he goes about it, though.
I think it's still very Ravenclaw. I have to agree because like he let himself be captured, didn't tell anybody in his kingdom, let himself be captured by the Fire Nation because he knew he would have to wait and see and play out the chess game with the pieces that were in front of him.
neutral Jin.
Exactly. What do you do? Nothing. That let himself be captured and then set himself free and took back his whole kingdom.
And he knew about that. He knew about that eclipse coming. He knew to wait for that.
Did he know the eclipse was coming? Because he said, I didn't know when it was going to come, but I knew I would know it when I saw it. And then he looked up, saw the eclipse, like, that'll do it. And then he attacked everybody.
Yeah, who knows? With him, who knows if he knew it was coming or not?
Because he literally told Aang and then was like, no, he told Sokka. And then when they were like, how did you escape from the party? She's like, I waited. And I didn't know if I knew it. He was like, literally just talking nonsense. He was like, I didn't know it, but I knew I would do it when I knew it. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And he was like, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It's what we were talking
Yeah.
You're just talking and talking and then like it doesn't make sense. It's like all gibberish.
It's all just
makes sense.
Yeah. He sees things.
That's why.
The more we talk, the more we talk about it, the more I see him kind of as like a Luna-esque.
He's
Xenophilius.
the Luna.
Yeah.
He's
definitely.
the weird one.
Xenophilius.
True. But he's smart and he knows when to do what he needs to do. And he's able to do what he needs to do, being the second strongest earthbending on the planet.
Yep.
Okay, Ravenclaw.
I gotta say Ravenclaw. Yeah, I can agree with that.
And last but never least, I put them together just because I feel like we're going to talk about one more than the other, but I'd feel wrong not including them, is Appa and Momo. Appa has a personality, Momo does not really. Like, I love Momo, but he's...
Momo reminds me of the acrobat.
Tylee.
I can never remember her name. It sucks. Yeah, Momo reminds me of Tylee.
Fair. I can see that.
In the sense that we had a very difficult time putting her in the character again because she's just so unique and just so
Out there.
different
Yeah.
from what's going on.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I could see it.
So Appa's either Gryffindor or Hufflepuff. Which one are we going with?
Oh, Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Hufflepuff.
Appa
That's
is the most loyal asshole.
Yeah.
That's true. So I was like, which one is it? I think I'm leaning Hufflepuff, but I'm like, I can
I mean,
see an argument for Gryffindor.
how far did they push him? And how far did he fly to get back to A?
I know.
To pure exhaustion.
That
Or he was shedding.
It hurts so
Appa's
much.
last days. Oh my god.
I almost skip it on my rewatches. I'm like, I want to skip it, but I can't.
Oh, it hurts my heart. I do
You just have to
that.
wrap
I
some
can't.
fucking
I
tissues
just
in
exactly.
cutest cuddly bear. Just
And
pretend it's
Momo, I think Momo's just like.
Gryffindor.
No, I think he's just like a magical creature.
He's Hedwig.
Yeah, he's like one of the owls.
He's a pet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because all I can remember is when Aang goes to look for like the frogs or whatever to give them. Asking for water, and he brings them everything.
There's literally a mountain of shit.
They're gone into like crowds and this shit. But all I fucking want was the fucking water.
Yeah.
So he's Hedwig, but less smart.
Yeah. It's because Hedwig's hella smart.
Hedwig's a magical ass elf.
But she's just like scary smart.
She is like.
He's like.
He's never the
Oh no! Is that what we're going with?
Yes, he's
I
the
don't
pet.
know because he's very loyal to Appa.
He's Appa's best friend.
Yeah,
He
Him and Appa are the outside of Aang are the last two airbenders from over there.
Oh, and then you
Well,
know
no,
that's
there's
his
more lemurs.
footprint. There's more lemurs and there's more bison too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, where are the other bison? Because they're around in Korra. Where were they?
They were just there. They were by their like fields.
Yeah.
They didn't cover the whole world of Avatar.
Yeah, but well, I know. It's just you get the feeling that Aang and Appa are the last, but because they're the last ones on his air temple.
Yeah.
Like, you just get the feeling that they're like, yeah, no, they're the last two.
Which is where they find Momo.
Which is where they're from, Momo, exactly.
But no, there's more bison. There's just their partnership with the air nomads is temporarily paused.
Partnership.
Because they're the original airbenders.
Yeah. Yes.
Sad, but
I
yeah.
know a lot more from you, but okay.
Well, because Korra,
Yeah.
things happen, but we won't get into it.
Well, we
because I
said
don't think
spoiler
everyone's-
warning.
Well, but have they seen it?
Oh, I think
I'm gonna get started this week.
it's on Netflix now.
Yeah, I
so,
know. That's why I saw it. I was like, oh yeah, it's on here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been spoiling shit this whole time, so my bad.
It's so fine. I don't care about
From
spoilers.
Hannibal.
Fair.
Fair.
Okay, so Momo.
Let's run.
Are
Yeah.
we saying Trevor or are we giving him Hufflepuff?
Do you want to give him up or just? I wouldn't even just call him Trevor. I would just say in general, pet, like
In general, just say magical creature.
magical creature. Yeah, that works.
Fantastic
Trevor.
beast.
A fantastic beast.
Fantastic
what he is.
beast.
A
Yes.
fantastic
Fantastic
beast
beast.
is he.
Yes. Like I said, I wouldn't have felt right just doing Appa, and I had to do Appa. So.
Yeah.
I agree.
And that is it. So our list
Let's do it. Let's run down it. Let's run it.
officially comes out to Gryffindor, Toph, Zuko, Suki, Azula, and Ozai.
Yeah.
Interesting list, but good job, Gryffindors.
Interesting.
That's a very diverse list for Gryffindors.
Yes. Hufflepuff is Aang, Sokka, and that's it.
And Appa.
You know the and Appa.
Aang, Sokka, and Appa are Hufflepuffs.
I love you, Hufflepuffs. I'm so sorry. We love you, Hufflepuffs.
They're not released them out.
It's because
I know that.
they're not, but we are very specific about who we allow into Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff is a very,
This is
it's a
true.
very,
This is
very
true.
specific criteria you gotta meet.
Hufflepuff are very treasured in our group.
Oh, we love
We
Hufflepuff.
had one Hufflepuff, and she's
Not around much.
I can't say names. My brother is also.
And-
Hufflepuffs are very
Hold on.
What's his name now? What are we gonna call him?
And now we have Ginny.
Ginny.
I like
So my brother is Ginny.
I like it a lot.
Makes a lot of sense.
We hold
Oh, you know one of
Hufflepuff.
my favorite characters. His favorite character is Arthur.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so yeah, now we have Arthur. Yes, Arthur is my brother's favorite character. My brother's a Hufflepuff. So Arthur is a
electricity.
electricity. I love him.
How do you use a telephone? Do they have those numbers in the Wizarding World? I have a question. Because if you literally look at money that has a number on it, it's like, is this a 5? Motherfucker, it's a 20. What are you doing?
Yeah, but he probably is overwhelmed. That's the thing that happens like in real life too. too, with like people who go to other countries and they get confused by the currency, even though it says it on there, because they're used to it saying it in a different spot. It just looks weird. And
That's
they get
fair.
confused.
It's different colors.
Here's the problem.
Different colors, and it's printed out weird, and you would not believe the amount of people who come into the place that I work,
True.
who are from other places. People who
Movie
come
theater.
in, and who come in and they're trying to give me the amount that they're trying to give me,
Yeah.
and it's just
I get
hard.
it. I get it.
Work in the store, it was just so many, especially this very
Diverse area.
tourist city that we live in.
That's fair.
There's just so many people from all over the fucking world
True.
that, I mean, it was kind of cool sometimes because you just get to talking to people.
Yeah.
But that's why most people just pay with cards. It's just
It's easier.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it. And yeah.
But the problem with Arthur was he studied Muggles. He fucking loved everything Muggle invention.
As a hobby, though.
That's fair, but he also worked around Muggles. His job was to unmagic Muggle artifacts and Muggle items.
Yeah.
He should know a little bit more than the book. I don't think the book
Because you
does.
unmagic something doesn't mean you know it's perfect.
But when you, but if you put his hobby and his job together, I think the book. And I'm not saying anything against Arthur. I actually put this against J.K. You need to get him a little bit more smarts about some Muggle things. Some. Maybe not everything. He doesn't need to be a master knowledge of Muggle items. But he doesn't know anything about anything. And he studies it and works around it. I just think putting those two together, he needs a little bit more.
I think this is more about the education in the magical world, though, than it does about.
Oh yeah, the magical world doesn't do shit about Muggles.
Their Muggle Studies class is not great.
Muggle studies happens like later on.
Because when does that class actually happen?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then she dies.
and they kill her. Voldemort killed her.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Well, it was happening the whole time. They just weren't in the class. Not the
Right.
point.
Here's Hufflepuff. Okay, so we got
Point
Hufflepuffs.
is that was the Hufflepuffs was Sokka, Aang, and Appa.
It's a good list, though. I would happily accept any of them.
Slytherins is
Do we have
Katara, Iroh, May, and Ty Lee.
I will accept that list. I will accept that list in my house any day.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, I'm so happy. I love it. I am also a Slytherin, and yes, that's
It's a
good.
great list.
Oh my god.
Iroh is one of me.
No.
Thank God.
And our Ravenclaws, our lonely Ravenclaws, are Zhao and Boomy.
I'm so sorry.
And then we have Momo, the Magical Beast.
And then the magical beast.
I'm not mad at that Ravenclaw list.
Oh, I'm not either, because they're both great at what they do.
And they're like complete opposites.
They are. It's really interesting.
That
Yeah.
really goes to show how diverse
Any of the houses.
they are. Like,
Yeah, because people are like, oh, Gryffindor must be a good guy. And I'm like, Ozai Azula would say differently.
Yeah, a little bit, tiny bit.
That's why I love doing this podcast, because we get to see because when you actually dig deep into why people do what they do in series and stuff, you get to see the diversity of characters that are in these houses, and I fucking love it.
It's great. It's
I love you guys, and thank you for letting us do this podcast.
I'm so happy. I've been trying to do this for the longest time, and I'm so happy we're doing it. Okay. That's all we've got for you guys for this week for Avatar the Last Airbender.
It was a good one.
sorted.
Yeah,
It was a good one.
It was a good one. I
You
love
have
these guys.
you have been sorted. Because I guess that goes to show also how great the writers of this show were. Just to have because the fact that we had to have arguments about some of these characters, we had to dig so deep into like why they do what they do, but the fact that we were able to actually find that information
Oh yeah.
is great.
Oh yeah. I feel like this is gonna be one of our longer episodes.
And it says a lot about how well the writers wrote these characters.
Oh yeah.
And I fucking love
All
it.
praise to the writers and creators of Avatar the Last Airbender.
That's why this
Thank
is
you
what
all. Right.
And
And
thank
the
God,
animators. Yes.
all of you.
Oh my god.
Anyone involved in the not movie, thank you.
What movie? I don't know what you're talking about. There is no movie in Boston City.
I'm just waiting for the live live action Netflix, I am going to give them a chance. I trust Netflix.
I am now scared. Did you guys hear that the creators dropped out?
Fuck! Why?
I am now scared.
Never mind.
You never know. It could still be amazing. It could still be awesome.
But if the writers, why did they drop out? Was it creative differences?
I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I just know they dropped.
That's fine. I'll still give it a chance.
I'll
It's
still
Avatar,
watch
babe.
it.
I'll still really watch the first season.
Exactly. I'll take it anyway. It's fine. You better eat it.
All right.
I'm gonna hate it.
There we go. Perfect.
All right, everybody.
All right. So thank you for joining us
this week.
Sorry. Thank you for joining us this week. Join us next week. We'll be doing Teen Titans, the original, not Teen Titans Go, because fuck that. And thank you guys for being here. This is Ron,
Thieves.
Fred.
Hermione.
And Luna.
signing off.
Bye.
Bye.